So the Cougars were slight favorites in that game. They had a great guy, we already heard about him, always scored some tremendous player. He was in every headline. I went back and looked at a lot of stuff. They weren't talking much about the finals. Sanders had 40, we know that. He also had 12 rebounds, they were both game highs.
Who had 12?
12 rebounds.
Who had 12 rebounds?
Greg Sanders.
Typo.
We're up by 3 at the half, but we got sloppy at the beginning of the second half. We're down 10 with 10 to go. So, you know, and coach, I read a story, you called him, I said, look, we got this. Do you remember that? You remember that moment in time?
No.
Pretend you
It was a
really
long
know
time ago.
about it.
No, that was 40 years ago here. But what I do remember, Chris, honestly, is coming back and getting behind. They made a bunch of shots in a row. And we kind of just, we had a timeout or something, and Billy kept imploring these guys, just don't worry about it. We got 10 minutes left. We played a real fast-paced game anyways, so there was going to be a lot of possession, so did they. And we thought we had a real chance to come back. At that point, Greg was doing most of the scoring, Essie was scoring a little bit, and nobody else was really scoring a whole lot.
But coach, in all honesty, guess what?
What?
Timmy Waterman made some key bassets
Yeah.
down the stretch in that game.
Afterwards,
Like 4
he
to
did.
6.
Yeah. After you gave him the ball every once in a while. But I think that we all felt confident. I don't remember anybody looking in here and panicking and saying, you know, we're down, we're probably not going to win this game. And remember, there was no shot clock, there was no three-point shot. So if they wanted to, they could have just kind of sat back. But they weren't going to do that. They ran up and down, and that was their style, and so on and so forth. And so we were still confident that I think this thing was going to happen for us. And that comes back to the leadership, goes back to the guys that were on the floor at the time, and the seniors especially, being able to impart that to the rest of the team, for no question.
I like to say this though. When we're playing the game, this is real, okay, right? We're playing. The game got tight. Greg said to me, hey, come on, let's go. I'm ready to go. He said that. He said, give me the ball. He said he was ready to go. And if he said he was ready to go, and he was going to score, he was going to score. And that probably those 12 rebounds had to be your offense. I'm ready to go.
I think, you know, being from New York, and, you know, I just kept looking at Essie, and, you know, I knew what we had with these two guys, and Timmy and the bench. I mean, everybody was bringing it. So, you know, we never lost faith about what we were doing, where we were going. These guys, Sass, Billy, and Coach, they never lost faith in us the whole time. So I think that it was right there. And we played to win the game. We never played not to lose. You know what I mean? And there's a different way of looking at it. And we played to win that game. And, you know I looked at Essie, he looked at me, and we never wavered. We knew that Greg was doing his thing. Glenn was doing his thing, Tim, the bench, Nicky came off, Delmar. I mean, everybody was into it. Our bench was into it. You know, we looked to you guys, and you guys were fired up on the bench, and, you know, nobody wavered. And we just kept moving along. We knew we were the underdog.
We won 20 games every week for like 3 years. And we didn't lose a lot. You know, we didn't lose a lot.
So if we're down 1 with a little over a minute to go, Sanders said he's 25-foot shot. Later on said no, yes, because he drained it. Put this up 1 with like 1:06 to go.
That's coaching.
Famous shot.
That's coaching.
And coach, you know, you talk about that a little bit, because that was a big theme after the game with the press.
Yeah, it really was. And but that goes back to getting your players confident enough to do something, to try something, and not be afraid to fail. And you know, he could have very easily passed it to somebody else and cut to the basket or tried to do something, but he thought he could make that shot. You know, and who am I to tell him he can't make that shot? Except when he took it from right in front of the bench, I said, oh. He just came back from 10 down, and about 4 minutes, and we're in the last possession to try to get at it, and if we get the lead, then we can hold it for the rest of the way since there's no shot clock. And he just cool and calm and collected right in front of Billy and I and Sass and just lefty soft three-pointer. It would have been a three-pointer in today's game. And, you know, he bangs it in and that just, you know, I don't know how many Bonaventure fans we had at the Garden that day.
19.5.
Thousands. Everybody exploded with that. And I think that really goes back to having the confidence again to take shots when it really matters and make or miss, you're still gonna take that shot.
Jimmy made a big free throw down the stretch, Glenn made a big free throw down the stretch. I was talking last night with Jimmy and Essie, the last play of the game. We had the ball underneath our basket, I think, right? And Essie, tell the story, because was it you were telling me the story about that last play.
It was Jim.
Tell the, it's a great story.
Well, he called a timeout, he set a play for us, but you know what, I mean, we weren't gonna lose that game. I mean, I'm just telling you, you know, I got that ball, I grabbed Essie and I said, listen, because I knew he was gonna catch it. I mean, and I said, I said, you know, fake the screen and just go. And, because I didn't wanna put it in front of their basket, and I said, if I get it and go long, and I had Mickey Crowley on giving me the ball saying, Jim, I'm gonna count real loud, 1,001, 1,002. So I knew I had Mickey there, and Essie he faked, and he ran, and Essie was a great track player, track star, and he ran, and I knew he could catch it, and I just let it fly, and he caught it, and I didn't know he was gonna put it in, you know? Well, you beat the spread, didn't you?
That was Jimmy that had money
I'm
on
gonna
the
tell you
game.
a funny story. After that game, the great Howard Garfinkel came to me, and he said, Jesus, you beat the spread. No, he didn't say that. I mean, but as he put it in, and we went up and, you know, won the game. But it was absolutely fabulous. I mean, it was a great ending, and then the fans and the community, everybody came down there, and it was just like a Bonaventure moment.
So you didn't run the play I set up?
What do you say? No.
Kind of.
What was the play you called?
For everybody that doesn't know, right, when we won it, the day we won NIT, that was Jimmy Barron's birthday. Yeah, that was Jimmy Barron's birthday. Yes.
All right, we're going to bring this down the home stretch now. It's a crazy question, but to any of you, if there's anything you would have changed or could change about that season, as good as it was, what would it be and why? Jimmy Barron.
No, I can't even imagine them changing anything because, you know, these guys were family. You know, my roommate, I love to death. His wife, you know, I mean, it's just, it was a family. You know, this guy here, you know, regardless of his antics, you know, I mean, I know I can kick his ass when he got it. No, but he was a beautiful man. And then Greg, you know, he brought his DC swagger, Moxie, Timmy was, and then our bench, I mean, every one of the guys was just, we all had relationships. We were all close. We loved each other. We cared about each other. You know, before the games, we used to turn the lights off. And, you know, he'd be farting and doing all kinds of stuff. And, you know, we would just, you know, temper everything. And we got really close. But I wouldn't change one thing.
Anybody change anything?
More shots. For me? More shots. For me, I would have rather won the NCAA championship than because I was in hardship that year.
That's a good answer.
It's all about him, you know? Doesn't
No, you know what's funny? I kind of wish that if we had one thing to do over, I wish South Carolina would have came here then. You know, we ended up, Bill Kelbaugh was doing a scouting, he was at, I think it was Temple, South Carolina, on like a Wednesday night, or Thursday night, we were playing Saturday, and South Carolina, I don't know if they won or lost against Temple, it really didn't make any difference, but Billy gets on the plane the next day and flies back to Olean, and they were supposed to get on the plane and fly back to Olean and did not, so the weather was too bad. And we weren't gonna jeopardize the safety of all of our student athletes, blah, 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 and don't come. And there was really some question at the time, what could we do about that? Frank McGuire was this legendary coach in South Carolina, one of the most famous coaches in the country. I was this little, guy who nobody knew. And so I remember going to Larry Weesey and saying, Larry, that's a forfeit. We're taking this win. Well, Jim, I don't know if we could do that. I don't know. I said, we just did it. We're taking a 2-0 win on this thing, and I want that in all the record books from now on that we won this game. And we did. So I wish we would have played it because we would have kicked them all over too. We were much better than they were. And I think they knew that. That was probably part of the reason that it was. But other than that, Jimbo, there'd be nothing that I would change. The relationship with these players and seeing them come back here and represent Bonaventure and the way they've done and the success that they've made outside of, basketball and how successful they've been. And it's just so great to see everybody back here. So I'm thrilled with that, but I wouldn't have changed one thing.
What do we, Essie, do you want to say something?
I think when you look at the preciseness of what we did, if you move anybody on the team, if Greg is not as hot as he is, if Glenn happens to be 6 inches off on his shot, we wouldn't be here right now. So the preciseness of what happened is a testimony of how close we were, how close-knit this team was. And I wouldn't have changed anything. Can't change anything.
Just say one thing too, just to end it, and this kind of gives you an idea, and I can say it about a bunch of the players, but I'll say it specifically about this guy, that I said to him, maybe it was this afternoon over at the Quick Center, it was last night, I can't remember which one, somebody, my friend Gene Fay, who played with me at Bonaventure, was at Mercyhurst at the time, came up to Essie and said, Essie, I watched you play when I was at Mercyhurst. Strong Vincent was playing Cathedral Prep or something. And it was in December of that year. And he said, Essie, you had 38 points and 20 rebounds and 8 block shots and so on and so forth. And I got on the phone right afterwards, Gene says, and I called Jim Saddle, my old roommate, who was coaching, assistant coach at Bonnie's. And you got to recruit this guy. I mean, this guy's incredible from here. You got to go recruit him. And I kind of just said, in passing, I said, that's absolutely true, we got him, and I said, and Essie House made my career. And Essie House kind of looked at me and said, no, you made my career by letting me come to St. Bonaventure. And that's really what he's.
All right, we have one more question. It's unfair, but we're going to ask it anyway. We want to hear from each of you one last time. In one word, how would you summarize that year? As we start with you.
Incredible.
Incredible.
Say one word.
I know, we did that.
Fabulous, fabulous experience. That's 2 words. Fabulous.
Mr. Coach, you get away with it. Right?
Special. Special.
Tremendous.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.